You know, I was watching Kiefer on the deck after he popped out, and he looked surprised at his score. And to me, that says he's been practicing so much that he's that good. Maybe he didn't realize that he just won the entire qualifiers. But what Kiefer, I think, has to be aware of is he can be emotional. If he does that same run and it doesn't score well, I hope he doesn't get flustered and really confused on what's going on.
Sure.
It's a different day. Everybody's going to be going at different speed, like you said. And if he ends up in that 3rd or 4th place with that same run, I think he just needs to lock in and just improve on one thing about his run and not try to bite off more than he can chew.
See Thomas Augusto trying to get the flip 5. And one thing that we were discussing the other day was that flat bank. Now, some people are struggling with it. Some people, it is an integral part of their run, isn't it?
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of bonelesses on it and a lot of grinds off the corner. I think that is actually an opportunity for you to be really creative and differentiate yourself from the rest. It seems like everybody has to use it. I was working again with Taylor Nye talking about runs. He tried to take it out because it wasn't like working that great. But the whole park falls apart if you don't use the bank.
See a lot of people grinding off that, coping off the top of the bank over the hip and going out onto that as well. Another thing that's worth discussing, brand new pull coping in the deep end and around that first part, the shallow end, right?
Yeah, when you look at this deep end, everything pool coping is brand new. I mean, it was put in, I think, the day of first practice.
So what's the advantages and disadvantages of that?
I would say there's more disadvantages than advantages. It's really slick. You'll see what we saw in quarters was some simple mistakes on easy lip tricks, and it's just because nobody's ever skated that coping before.
Yeah, you could hear kingpins pinching on it. It's all fresh.
I mean, it's worth a shout out, the near miss by Soya Inamata, who did great in Ostia 9 months ago. He fell on a frontside Smith grind or a frontside grind at the end of his run, and I think it would have made it.
Well, I saw Tay Cunningham. He said he fell on a 50-50 on the rainbow rail on the last thing of his run, and he might well have got through, and it would have been lovely to see him in there. But we're seeing a lot of that. Is that coming down to pressure, do you think? People are under so much pressure that the easier tricks aren't just happening.
Yeah, I think today is all about avoiding mental errors and simple mistakes. This contest specifically, I don't know why, I've seen a lot more mental errors than ones in the past.
Yeah, we discussed that. And what would you say to someone who's just struggling?
Where are you looking, and are you breathing? These guys, it's not technique. It's never technique at this level. It's paying attention and focusing on the right things.
Wise words there as we're getting ready to drop Pedro Barros on for run number 1. See him starting to gear himself up. That crowd is going absolutely wild, rolling into the corner, straight into that deep end. And that's how Pedro goes, right? He starts with a bang, doesn't he?
Huge 540 to start his run. I think he's been doing that for 15 years.
Yeah, and just missing the varial flip indie there over that huge love seat. That thing is massive.
From this view, where the camera's set, we don't see any wind flags.
Yeah.
And that would be nice to be able to get a visual for what these guys are dealing with, because I think it is quite windy out there.
Just a straight 9 coming through there. I'm hoping to sneak another run in before we get back to street. And Alex and Ryan, as we move on to Taylor Nye, I'm really excited to see this line, Mitchie.
Me too. He's making a big improvement from quarters into semis right here. He's going to be doing a kickflip indie coming back over the middle section.
And what do you think it would mean for Taylor to get through to his first finals?
I think it would give him the confidence that he deserves. He's one of the guys.
He really does deserve it.
Yeah, and I think he just needs to show up a few times to start really believing it.
Well, the thing is, he's definitely got the tricks, and I love that little lean to fakie there. Oh, I think that was supposed to go to tail.
It was, exactly.
Yeah, like I was saying, he's certainly got the trick bag. He's definitely got the execution. And I mean, finishing off a run like that, you know, standing out from the rest of the skaters is so important, isn't it?
When you're in Heat 1, it's really hard to beat Heat 2. It's just the way it is. They skated better yesterday, and they're going to skate great today. But if you make Heat 1 beat you with your first run, it puts you in such a great spot. He's free to play now.
Yeah, definitely don't make it easy for Heat 2.
Yep.
Remembering that the top ranked skaters are still to come in heat number 2. We have seen it before where heat number 2 have been the only ones going through to finals, but with the likes of that run from Taylor right there, he is definitely going to make it hard for them, and that was just the first run. We've got 2 more to go.
The judges are going to notice the execution on the cap to body drop, how he skipped it and he saved it. You know, a contest 10 years ago, that might have gave you more points, just not how it is anymore.
Okay, Kensuke up next. One of my favorites out there, the power that this guy's got. It's like he drops in and revs his engine so fast. Look at that, flying through. He's got access to some of those speed lines. Look at that, biggest body jar today.
You want to know what's interesting is you wouldn't expect it, but I think he is the smallest skateboard in the field at an 8.0.
Yeah. Oh, wow, just missing the heel flip Indy. Sometimes I feel like putting that much power into certain tricks is a disadvantage.
Well, it could have been an accident. The way the wind circles in the bowl, he might have taken the same line he's been taking and just carries a bit more forward speed.
Well, that's the shape of things to come. We hope we can bring you some more of our men's park semi-finals, but we're going to take it back to the street course with Alex White and Ryan DeCenzo.
Hey, thanks, Mark. Thanks, Mitchie. I'm seeing during the warm-up right here, the wind is also affecting the street course right here. We got the skaters out there doing the practice. They just ran the buzzer to start runs right now. I saw Kelvin Hofler kind of throw his arms up in a little bit of frustration around the wind. But we are going to kick off men's semifinal heat number 2 in a moment here too, because you know it's dry. Guess we got to go when we got to go, Ryan.
It's dry, but it is windy, and I think these guys are at a bit of a disadvantage compared to heat 1. But you know, if you're a powerful enough skater, Mother Nature is no match.
Mother Nature is no match. The more power you can bring to it. So the French skater Maxim is about to drop in for his run number 1 here, men's semifinal. Max Bergen, run number 1, kicking things off here, semifinal heat number 2.
Wow, starting it off with the nose slide nollie flip. The wind not bothering him at all, and just keeping it moving. And wow, I love that trick. Switch 270 front feeble, super rare move. Pioneered by Chris Haslam on a street rail, following that big flip front board. Down the big rail, coming back up with a nice front side flip. Oh, a little toe touch, but keeping it going. Oh, almost getting that hard flip right at the buzzer.
It's not like the buzzer went off right when his feet touched the grip tape.
I think that hard flips are not good in the wind.
No, I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that messed him up. I mean, there's little gusts and breezes all over the place right now.
I mean, you look prepared for any condition here, except for right here.
Yeah, that was, I don't know how, I feel like he had that.
Just kind of
went away at the last second.
So run number 1 score is going to drop for Max Bergen from France.
Yeah, he's a sick skater. I saw some of his Instagram clips the other night, and he has some really techie street clips. And I was like, this guy is so sick. You know, I had to hit him with the follow. And
gotta hit him with the follow right there. Some good good street clips. 49.45 for Max Bergen's first run. Next skater in is going to be Daiki Ikeda. Now all the skaters here in semifinal heat number 2 are the top qualifiers coming out of the quarterfinals. Daiki Ikeda is included as one of them. He is fast, he is furious. Daiki Ikeda is a little powerhouse.
Yeah, he's a sick skater. He's always in the streets too. I mean, most of these guys all are at this point. Let's get it, Daiki. Yes, starting with the big front 180 switch crook. Back tail. Front blunt, chilling. Nice 270 lip.
Winding those shoulders, Coming into the gap with a hard
Hard flip all the way to flat, and that's actually a little bit longer than the stair set right there, hard flip. Tray flipping over.
Up the Wembley gap with so much time.
Windy, come on.
Taking fakie and going.
Oh my God, he muscled that cab backflip.
It got windy right
So
as
windy.
he was rolling up. It got crazy windy, and he powered through and held on. If I was judging, I'd give him bonus points.
Absolutely. The wind is blowing against you as you approach the biggest obstacles on the course. Right there, that hard flip you were talking about, Ryan.
Yeah, and he has such a consistent hard flip. Pretty much every try on the hard flip, and wow, just holding on to that cab backflip as his beanie flies off.
His beanie actually kind of always flies off, but especially when it's windy. Okay, props from the Japanese coaches. I mean, it cooled off a little bit with the wind. It's not as hot, but now it's windy.
Para 16 grandes nomes do skateboarding na modalidade atualmente.
Waiting for that score number 1 to drop for Daiki Ikeda. We're seeing a hold on the course right now because of the wind. We're holding for scores, holding for wins. There's a big, I'm not sure if the cameraman can get a shot of this, but there's a big kind of like drape carpet thing that tore off one of the scaffoldings right now, and it's kind of threatening to blow into the course right now.
Yeah, some signage is coming loose.
Yeah. So it looks like they're gonna hold for a second, and then they're gonna let it go. Joao Luca is gonna go and head and
Lucas
skate.
about to
45
drop
seconds
in.
on the clock. Daiki Ikeda getting a 66.5 for that last run of his. Nice score for Daiki Ikeda. Joao Lucas is dropping in right now.
Oh, no.
Resetting here.
Swift looking grind. Wow, looking grind subiu.
Nice back 270 lip on the bump to rail. Coming back up to the big section. Setting up switch. Switch back lip. Stomped.
Ótimo aproveitamento.
Oh, the switch
was
tray.
sick.
I
That
love
was
that.
Switch tray.
And
Got
that's
a few seconds left. 3, 2. Oh, he's gonna call it. Okay.
And that's another one of those circumstances where the one bail threw off the time, didn't get to the last one. So hopefully he gets another run where it's not quite as windy. Yeah, it's just really tough out here for these guys. Dealing with the weather conditions.
It is not ideal conditions out here today, but it's dry.
I'd say for the most part, if you're out street skating right now in this wind, you might just be like, hey, let's just
call
chill,
it, yeah.
or maybe I'm not gonna try to film this clip right now, but contest scenario, you don't get a choice.
Joao getting a 33.38 for that first run here. Gonna want to clean it up for run number 2. Jagger Eaton, there you go.
Yeah, coming off a bit of an injury after the Paris 2024 Olympics. He had ankle surgery, and heard from his younger bro that it's been a little stiff, so I mean, he's still got enough switch tricks and switch flips to get the job done. Oh.
That's going to be a disappointing re-entry into the competitive field. Jagger has been doing this for a long time, Ryan.
Yeah, Jagger's also one of those guys, he can handle the pressure. He can literally wave off this run, refocus, reset, and just dial it in next time. But the pressure is on for Jagger.
So Jagger just calling that run number 1 a wash, gonna focus on run number 2. Next skater in is gonna be Felipe Mota.
E ele vem de onde? Tá lá, tá na tela. Galera, vamos mandar aquela
Big gust of wind blowing through the course right now as Felipe Mota sets up for his run number 1. And then that big, there was like this big thing that was attached to one of the scaffoldings just blew off and got ripped off. And so they finally fixed that. Looking a little safer out there on the course. I know you guys couldn't see it back home, but there was this giant, I don't know, like kite almost thing stuck on the scaffolding.
A banner.
A banner, thank you, yeah. Felipe Mota in for his run number 1 of 2.
Nice casual front blunt there into a back nose blunt. Great way to start the line out. Super smooth. Powering through this wind. Wow, back sugar cane. Perfect. Into a nice little susky. Front blunt on the quarter pipe. Look at the wind. You can see his beanie flapping. Oh, and that's classic nollie into the wind, just getting taken away.
Lord, it was like a kite.
Oh. Oh. I feel bad for him. That is so annoying to miss.
So disappointing.
That kind of just middle little filler trick. I'm not sure if it was a nollie front board or a nollie nose grind, but the wind just said, nope.
Took it away from him. He was on his way to a really good run.
Yeah, he got most of the hard tricks out of the way already and then unfortunately caught up on an easier one, getting back to the big section, so.
Okay, so Felipe Mota.
I mean, that's got to be frustrating. Like,
Yeah,
I saw his beanie flapping around so much.
We're looking like we're on hold right now. The field marshal is over there talking to Felipe Mota right now on the course. There's 0 seconds on the clock at this moment. They are.
Bom, é isso aí, galera. Só dando um toque, o que acontece? Tava rolando uma baita ventania durante a volta do Felipe Mota. Alguma coisa voou ali para dentro da pista. Também considerou que atrapalhou a volta, então ele terá direito ao retorno.
All right, we're gonna hold on street for a moment here too and hand it back over to Mitchie and Mark over on the park course. Guys, what's going on over at park?
Keegan Palmer just saved his run with a bad kickflip innie that he flipped it with his hand. Then he makes a McEgg to finish it right at the end.
Absolute outrageous skateboarding, as we always see. And I mean, to do a bit of a bob in Bob's land is special, isn't it? Catch the kickflip indie wrong, flip it with your hand, get it back on your feet. Very, very impressive. So very high winds out here in São Paulo, and they are over onto our park course as well. Seems to be affecting that extension, Mitchie.
Big time. All the face walls that they're doing their main big hard tricks on are going to be the most affected by the wind.
So whilst you've been watching Street, we've been catching glimpses of what's been going on the park course. And it is really, really shaping up to be a battle to get through to the top 8 going into the finals tomorrow.
And now Kalani's up next. He's still in the lead.
Yeah, 89 points on the board already. How good is it going to feel knowing you've got 2 more runs to go when you're in the first place position?
I think he's feeling really good. I think he's coming into his own. I'm pretty sure he's only made 1 final before this, and he looks like he's going to get right through.
Kickflip indie into the deep end, 30 seconds on the clock already. Still to go. Backside Smith grind, and you said it earlier, you cannot sleep on Kalani, can you?
No, not at all. He looks so comfortable on his board. The commentator's curse,
yeah,
man, it's undefeated.
Right there. I mean, the thing is, when you've got such a high score on the board, you're sitting in that first place position, do you tend to just taper it back a little bit and just lean off of it?
But you shouldn't. Not at the stage, not in this stage of the contest where these rankings are gonna change so much as Heat 2 comes in, and they might have some better weather, they might just be skating better. You cannot let off the gas here.
And the scores that we've seen at this stage in the competition before, 89 is quite high up there, but we have seen getting into the 90s before in semi-finals with very, very impressive runs. I mean, it's so hard to get through to the final when you're in heat number 1, isn't it?
You have to try to win the contest.
Yeah, you really do, don't you?
100%. And it's hard because sometimes you compete against your guys in your heat, but that's not how it works.
We've seen it so many times before where the semi-finals are more like the finals. Okay, Euro getting straight in. Boosting round. Look at this huge kickflip indie. That is so far. I mean, you had a walk around the park course earlier, didn't you? And there's a few little insights, like the deep end isn't as deep as you thought.
Yeah, I wanted to actually walk on the transitions and get a really close look at the bumps and cracks. The two things that stuck out was that transition coming out of that Red Bull rail is actually really steep. There's about 1 foot maximum of sweet spot on that. If you overshoot it, you are screwed.
Thomas Augusto straight back in, loving that line. Indy into the deep end. Huge 540. Now he got the kickflip 540 at the end of the last run. Repetition, do you think he's sort of overlooking that a little bit?
Well, I think he's going to go from the kickflip body rail 5 to a kickflip melon 5, which just means the board is going to spin a full 540 with him, which will up his score, but I don't know if it'll change his place.
Right. Over the love seat. We were saying before, we want to see Thomas do well here. We really do. And during qualifiers and in the practice sessions, he was really on it. You could see there was something had changed with him, because we watch him get quite frustrated sometimes. He gets really emotional, right?
Yeah, he does. Sometimes, you know, you can feel like you're winning or losing practice, but the only purpose of a warm-up is to warm up.
Yeah.
It's not to judge yourself based on how the finals is going to go. You never know. Sometimes you can skate great in warm-up, and then it all falls apart, or the other way around.
I feel like you need a direct line to everyone to tell them that, and just be like, hey guys, Mitchie here, just remember this.
It's so painful not to have the direct line, because when someone's making an easy mistake that you can fix, it's just like, it irks me.
So we see Thomas staying in that 3rd place position as we go around to Pedro Quintas. He fell on one of his first tricks on run number 1. Needs to get this done. Seen it in practice. Here we go.
Full tray flip Indy.
So hard. You've got to get your leg out of the way, wait for that to spin, and then get hold of it. And there's that big boneless, like we said. You're going to see a few of those over the next 2 days. Full speed backside Smith grind. Do you feel like the Brazilians have like a responsibility to perform out here?
I mean, you want to do well for your home crowd, but it's always in a way that helps the riders, not a pressure that hurts.
Down to the last 2 seconds, nearly fell out of that run on those last few seconds in a Smith grind. It's like, yeah, 5 seconds left, still 4 seconds left, all the way through the Smith.
You know, Pedro Quintas doesn't have those big 540s or 720s. That's not where he's going to make up his points. But a tray flip Indy instead of, you know, the other guys kick flip Indies or something, and his stand-up grinds through the corners actually carry him really far.
Well, you can almost see the multiplier going up on that, taking it from straight to straight through the corner. That score up there at 89.01 for first place. That is way up there at this point of the competition.
And Kalani did that in the height of the wind.
Yeah. Wondering if it's died down a little bit out there. Eyes on the board, waiting for that score to come through. He's going to be very happy to get that mid-competition. Gets it done in run number 2. That's going to give him some comfort, a little comfort layer, but now he knows 83.51. If he wants to get anywhere near finals tomorrow, that's got to be way, way high.
And it's not going to be a small change in his run. He's going to have to add something real.
For sure. Okay, back to the top of the heat. Run number 3 for the absolute legend, Pedro Barros.
Pedro has a knack for getting further in his runs as the contest goes on.
Yeah, we've seen it so many times. Huge melon 5 there. You can hear the crowd absolutely screaming for him. Oh, he's got it done. No, he slipped out. I can't believe it. I had a feeling that if he got that done, he was going to go ballistic. We're probably going to have to call airport control to make sure there's no planes in the zone.
You know, there's 2 starts to your run. When you drop in and when you get your first hard trick. And I think that was to Pedro. I think that's the beginning of his run. So he feels like, man, I didn't even get to try.
Taylor Nye up next.
We're just going to pay attention to Taylor's landing spot coming out of his 540 in the deep end right here. That determines the rest of his run, because now he has the speed to do that kickflip Indy.
You saw on his last run, didn't have the speed. There's the alley-oop. Loving that backside ollie down into the deep end, changing that line up. That's giving him access to get 2 hits really quickly back-to-back.
Now this final stage is just staying calm and finishing standing up tall.
Taking it into that corner. Frontside lip slide. Are we going to see it? Yes, we are. Solid run there for Taylor. That's exactly what he needed, and he knows it.
I got both my hands in the air right now for Taylor Nye. I'm really excited. After that kickflip Indy, he really did a great job at composing himself and getting ready for that second stage of his run and keeping his energy for the 450.
I mean, you said it. Your landing, it's not just about getting the trick, it's where you land, how you land, especially when you've got really important tricks after that landing.
Every single trick in your run is speed dependent. Not more speed or less speed, but the right speed, and that's controlled by your landing spots.
So waiting for that second score, or third run score to come through, 80.14 in there. You're saying possibly between the 89 and the 87. Maybe bumping.
I've been surprised a
Keegan
lot
into third
this weekend, but I think that would be a great placement, considering I didn't see Kalani's full run as we were watching street.
When our judges are headed up by Renton Miller, and as you say, we've been kept on our toes with the judging, but I think they're asking a lot from people out there on the course, and they're rewarding different things than we maybe thought they would reward when we got here.
Yeah, I think if you do anything that kills your speed or you have poor execution, you can throw the score away.
Including low landings, right?
No, of course.
I mean, they're so critical, and everyone up there in that booth knows exactly what it's like to do any of these tricks. They really know what is well done, and also what is very accurate to be able to do the next trick like Taylor did.
Yeah, and that's why we saw a lot of narrow misses we didn't expect. Ale, Guy, Tate, Carvalho, and Soya.
Well, just below Keegan there, 86.16, solid score there. But it's going to be tough to get through with that score, I feel. But anything's possible.
Yeah, he's not safe by any means.
I mean, we got the likes of Tom Shah, Igoitz coming up in there, and Luigi Cini on home turf. I mean, it's going to be a tough ask as we take it up back to Kensuke. We were saying earlier, sometimes his extreme amplitude like that hinders him, but it seems to be working for him in this run.
I don't know how he saved that body drive. That was like 10 feet high.
Oh, getting it done this time. Struggle with that on run number 1. Keeping that speed into the hip.
Big nose grind. That's really what holds this run together. I saw him struggling with that a little bit in quarters. Blunt kickflip fakie. He has 2 seconds left. This last wall does count.
Wow, little half cap to see it off. But that had a bit of everything. If we were to break that down, he hit the rail, 5s, hit the bank, huge body jar, huge. Kickflip Indy, and then the blunt kickflip, it's got a bit of everything. I would expect this to be right up there.
When you're a judge at this level, you're just looking for a reason to take the score off.
Yeah.
And you don't want to give the judges one. But if you look at this run, like, what's going to penalize him?
Well, I think we're going to be having a little bit of a wait for this score to come in. You know when it takes a little bit of time to come in that it's got them on their toes and sharpening their pencils.
That last wall did count. Post-celebration, half cap.
But are they going to say, well, no, you should have used those seconds to have put something else together?
Well, skateboarding in competitions is like 90% mindset, and everybody always says that. But what that means is you believe in your tricks so much that you can focus on the next wall immediately. And he didn't do that coming out of the kick, the blunt flip.
Yeah.
He paused, he waited, he said, I'm done. Oh, wait, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think there is room to improve on that, as crazy as that is. Not that that's going to hurt the score, but as far as Kensuke goes, it's like, wow, I have another wall.
Yeah, as I say, bit of a delay for that score to come through. 20.21 best score on the board. I think that is definitely going straight in the trash, isn't it?
I think it's a 19.
84.30. I was thinking a little bit higher, to be honest, because it ticked all the boxes, but hey, I'm not a judge.
He didn't use his last wall. I think he
must have
should
come down to
trust. I think he should try that again, trust it, use the last wall, see what happens. It might be a big difference.
Currently in second place. On number 3 for Keegan Palmer.
Keegan's one of the few guys that if he's overcooking and pumping too hard, he skates better.
Yeah.
Whenever I see him calm down too much, I start biting my fingernails.
Huge alley-oop, getting over to that extension. It's a long way to get there. Keeping the speed up for the 5.
He had a slight over-rotation last run on this front 270. I think he's going to clean it up and have a little more speed this time in the deep end.
Such a drifting line there, but huge kickflip indie over the box. Hipping it from feeble through the corner.
And here's something you will not see anyone else do in this contest. Oh, he switched it for a kickflip.
No way.
Lean, which I think is a good idea because you can keep your height. I think the McEgg is really cool, but it forces you to slow down so much that, I don't know, it's a give and take.
Do you think the kickflip lean melon would have topped the 87.54 on the board?
If it did, it was because his execution and speed throughout the run was a little better.
Not necessarily the trick itself.
Yes.
Bit of a low landing there, but still way up.
A sneaky strategy change you could make is to, because he did a 540 on that same spot earlier. You switch that for the kickflip lean earlier because it's more technical and it's easier to do when you have energy. 540s are a lot more brainless and just scary.
Yeah.
So you can do that when you're tired and you're not going to lose it.
65.57 with a full. That is a big score with a full.
We're looking at an Olympic gold medalist for a reason.
Exactly. So Kalani Koenig still out in the lead, 89 points. That tells you just how good that run is. Kalani getting straight back in there. When I got here the other day, he was doing that and slowly getting closer and closer to the hip. And one of them, he landed about 2 feet past the hip. Absolutely bonkers. So as you can see over on our split screen right now, we're having a bit of a chat on the street course. We're going to hand you back to Alex White. So it looks like Alex is a little bit busy at the moment, but there is a meeting going on the course there. Mitchie, you can see that there's problems on the street course. They don't seem to have got quite far over to the park, just purely because everything's sunken. But we spoke about it earlier, that wind being a problem on the extension.
Yeah, the wind is a problem in the park and out. I don't know if I love seeing all the athletes meeting and talking and trying to figure things out. I think as an athlete, I always like to be ready, stay ready, and they say whether to go or not. It's not up to me to tell production to start or stop the event. It doesn't matter. They're not going to listen to me. I'm skating in it. If I have to go, I have to go. So I'd rather have my headphones on, stay in my zone, and just watch.
So news is that the whole heat has just decided to possibly wait and let the wind die down. But we'll just chuck you back over to Alex White and get the lowdown.
Hey, thanks so much, Mark. Yes, the entire heat number 2 of men's semifinal has just voted to put it on hold. Jagger was just saying, you know, yeah, we started, it was too windy to go. He doesn't, you know, they're kind of going back and forth there too. I'm not hearing all of the details of the athletes, but yes, again, the news is heat number 2 of men's semifinal have voted to go on hold.
Yeah, it's a clear disadvantage to be trying to skateboard with this kind of crazy wind. So, I mean, these are for points. This is big points. These guys don't want to slam either, you know. You could get hurt. Board just gets blown away or land back on it because it's weird. There's also stuff blowing around.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. It's pretty crazy wind.
Well, even over in the judges panel, I saw one of the panels that's like the ceiling of the judges booth got blown up too, and all the judges came downstairs right away too. So the judges aren't even in position right now. I think you guys are having a little bit better luck over there at Park, and we will keep you updated if things change here on the street side.
Thank you very much, Alex. I hope things change over your side. Meanwhile, we are getting through the heats here in the men's park semi-finals. We got Thomas Augusto asking for the crowd to go wild for his third and final run, rolling in. Straight towards that corner, we can see this big line over to the box jump landing. Indy nose bone to start things off. Big melon 5, tweaking that one, Mitchie.
That's where that wall is a lot smaller than some of the other parks, so that's hard to go that high on it.
Whoa, got too much send on the kickflip melon over the hip. That's going to be it for Thomas Augusto taking a bow.
So you see guys like Keegan Palmer, and what we'll see from Tom Shar is they know exactly how much to stretch their skills and when not to. And I think with Thomas, when he wants a higher score, sometimes he starts to juice everything instead of the important thing.
Yeah, sure. And I mean, it's easy to get caught up, isn't it?
Dude, this is the 0.5 points at the highest level. This isn't like a regular session.
Pedro Quintas in. Just getting too much flick on that. The step back on a Tron. One of the worst things is getting back on your board or getting it in the shin. He's saying thank you very much. It's obviously okay.
He was trying double flip tray.
Do you think he was actually trying it?
I don't know if he was trying it or if he got stuck.
Wow. But if you're on the 83.51 and that's only good enough for 6, you're going to have to step it up somewhere. And you were saying, you know, you need to add something else. It's not just the execution that's going to get you through.
Yeah, he doesn't have the 5s and the 7s and the kickflip 5s that some of these other guys. So, yeah, you're going to have to send it.
So Pedro, our last skater there in heat number 1. We're going to get heat number 2 in shortly, getting them warmed up. We'll have a look at our current standings. Kalani Koenig still out there on the first place position, 89, and some way behind for Keegan Palmer, 87.54. Unfortunately, Pedro couldn't pull it together. He just went to Pedro on this one, I think. Yuro Nagahara in that 7th place position. I really wanted to see Kensuke do a little bit better, Michi.
Yeah, me too. And I think he was really close. And I think it came down to that blunt flip fakie. And I know he had something planned on that wall. But I don't think he tried to win the contest. I think he tried to make finals, and that just didn't give him enough.
And also, just get a line down, get it done. Like, you know, this is competition experience, and World Championships is nerve-wracking.
Yeah, and this is, you know, on the way to some really big contests soon. And if you think about it, like when you're at the really big ones, you can't stop with 3 seconds left. You can't skip your last wall.
Well, we saw it before out in Rome. Kalani Koenig certainly knows what it takes to put these runs together. And he's done it again, 89 on there as we take a look at our men's park semi-final, heat number 2.
Where's your bubble prediction at?
I think going to be 92 or something. I think everyone's seen what's come in, 89 this early on. They can't hold back. They're going to need to nearly do finals runs.
That's a great point.
You know, it might well be around the 89, but I think everybody in this heat is going to be looking to beat the 89 and not come below it.
So you can see one making it to finals from heat 1.
Yeah, possibly, possibly. And I would love to see that, and he deserves it.
This is dependent on Isai's shoulder.
Yeah.
If he does decide to skate, and everyone making their runs. I think we might run into a situation where 6 make it, and then we have 2 that just basically no-shows, and then that would allow Keegan and Kalani to get through.
Well, we've seen it before where people just drop in, carve round, take the position that they're in so that they don't get a did not finish, and you know, they'll take those points and get the ranking from that, and then that keeps them in that rolling ranking that we've got that changes every 18 months. You know, we'll be starting our Olympic qualifying system in June out in Rome at our amazing park that we've been back to so many times. And that's when it's all going to come down. But everybody is playing for position at the moment. Everybody wants to be in that pre-seeded practice qualifying area so that when it comes down to it, they've waited around for a little bit, had some practice, and they only start skating at that quarterfinal stage.
Well, and pre-seeded isn't just as simple as, oh, I get to skip day 1. It's like you get the practices in the evening when the weather isn't as hot. You get to rest when everyone else is competing.
Right, then let's take a check back in with Alex White and Ryan DeCenzo on our street course. Anything changing down there, guys?
You know, no new updates over here on the street course, too. We are in a holding pattern because of the wind. Most of the staff, including the judges and the commentators that are up in the booth, the live event commentators, are down here with us. Ryan, have you seen anything different or heard from anybody?
It looks like they're trying to get everything back together, securing stuff down, strapping stuff down that's flying around, keeping everybody, the workers and the skaters safe, the audience members. So I think also the skaters that are in the contest kind of don't want to skate in this wind.
Yeah, I could say, like what we were saying earlier, just that wind will really throw you off. And what you guys were saying at Park, it's the same story here. So no real updates yet from the street side of things, Mark. I hope things turn around quickly, though.
Yeah, so do I. Got everything crossed here in the booth. Thanks for the update. We're getting all the weather this weekend. Rain this morning's delayed things. Now the wind is posing to be a problem. But we are getting through our men's park semi-finals here at the World Championships. We're going to get heat number 2 in the park warmed up shortly. We're going to take a 10-minute break, and we'll see you soon.
Well, it's still pretty windy here down on the street course. Me and Ryan, we're just kind of ducking around. We're trying to watch and be patient. See any changes in the weather over here, Ryan?
I mean, it stopped raining. It was raining for a little bit, and that like really got all the skaters like, okay, we're off. It's dried up now. It's still a little bit windy. It's just kind of big gusts that make it really unpredictable, and it really affects the skaters. They don't want to skate in the wind.
Yeah, well, the street skaters now have put it on hold. They all voted to hold over here, though, but I think that there is some action going on over at the park. Mark, Mitchie, what's going on over at park right now?
Yeah, we got our men's semi-final heat 2 warming up right now, so it seems like we might be able to get this thing going. I mean, it's so much harder to flip your board, take it downstairs and things when it's really windy, especially with the direction the course is facing, right? You know, that's going straight into the wind. Here we've got different issues. The extensions are the problems, aren't they?
Yeah, and sometimes when you're down in the bowl, the wind is actually like a cover from the wind. And then you run into trouble as soon as you do an air, you get hit with like 15-mile-per-hour gusts.
Yeah. But they are getting warmed up, and I really hope we can take you through men's semi-final heat number 2. Kalani Kornig from heat number 1 is our leader at the moment. Everybody is going to be trying to beat that score of 89 points straight. We've got Gavin Botka there on screen warming up, looking very comfortable, but you might see that everybody's got hoodies on, coats and jackets on. One thing is, we saw Egoitz getting taken off of the course. I've just had a little update from Greg, our technical delegate out there, and he's saying he's a bit shaken up, but he's waiting to find out if it's anything serious. Fingers crossed that he's all good, because we really want to see what he's got to offer, and we want all of you at home to see what he's got to offer as well. Meanwhile, Tom Shah warming up in the bowl, and I'm very excited to see what he's got for us, Mitchie.
Yeah, when you look at these riders, I want to put you on. You put me on the spot all the time. Let me put you on the spot.
Oh, no.
All right. Whose skating is the most windproof?
Tom.
That's
there's something about Tom. I feel like you could put a jet engine on the platform and he'd be like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. He cuts through it. He looks light, but he also looks heavy in the air. I don't know how it works. He's got some sort of miracle thing that goes on with his skateboarding that I just don't think many other people have ever had or will.
Yeah, and you look at someone like a little out of left field, maybe Luigi. Skates like Tom, but I don't think he can drive the same way through the wind, especially on like flip tricks or ollies.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Luigi's got those technical flip tricks, and that's what the wind is going to catch.
Yeah.
And I mean, if it's going to be an effective thing, it'll be getting a big air out of the extension, and if you're flipping your board and catching it, especially if it's a 360 flip grab that he does.
How strong the top 4 or 5 are in Heat 2 is just incredible that at this level, they can still differentiate themselves from the pack.
Yeah, it's so impressive. And I think the thing that is blowing my mind a lot is the different use of course. People are really setting themselves apart and saying, no, I'm not going to do what you're doing. You know, bypassing the flat bank and maybe coming back and getting a grind off of the edge like that, or maybe not even hitting it at all, because some people just really aren't enjoying it. But I think it's going to come down to a formula of flip grabs, getting long grinds, and getting that, you know, you've got to get a 540 in there, like we just seen Luigi do.
And that's a big reason I'm hoping Egoitz is allowed to skate. And I say allowed to skate because you spend most of your prime arguing with medical teams to let you skate the contest. I mean, I've been in there probably 5 or 6 times in my life with a, you know, borderline broken wrist, just like saying, please let me drop in so I can do this. But Egoitz has such a unique use of parks. I just hope he's out there because he had so much.
You can see Tom just holding his arms out there, testing the wind. I mean, it's whether we get this thing going, it's going to be an issue. And I think it's who adjusts the best.
Wind flags on the deck would actually be really helpful, not just to us to see what's going on. Being able to peek at the direction of the wind when you're in different spots of the bowl, it would be really helpful.
I think it helps when you know that the roof of the judges' station has been blown off. That's a good indicator.
Yeah, there is wind is a little different than, oh, the wind is coming off the right on the deep end. So let me maybe make an adjustment.
So how do you think that this park course helps someone like Gavin Butker, who's got all of those fiddly little hip tricks? You know, how does that aid towards him?
Really nice shout out to Gavin, because the size of the walls on this park, I think, fit Gavin the best. He's got a smaller frame and a lot of power, and he really skates in that middle zone of speed. He's never going too slow, but he's not going to go as high as, say, someone like Kensuke. So Gavin is really in his sweet spot here to get all his tech tricks and link trick all the way through his run.
And I mean, Gavin does like a hip as well, and we've got plenty of them in here, both big ones and smaller ones. I just love that there's so many options. It's such a well-designed course.
I want to see a stat of how many hips are in the bowl to how well Gavin does in the contest ratio.
That might be a good one. And then you know who's his friend that's designed the park for each comp. So it'd be good to speak about Luis Mariano, someone who I feel like we're yet to see just how good he is.
You know, and I've been feeling like that for years. I watch him skate, and the thing that I love about his skating so much, but also keeps me on the edge of my seat, is he will flip his board multiple times in his run. So a lot of guys will take their flip tricks and either shift them to the end or the beginning, where Luis will do flip at the beginning, a hard one in the middle, and a hard one at the end. So there's no real part of his run that you can just relax and wait for him to finish it.
What I'm loving as well is people are really paying attention to the coping. There are some really big grinds, long grinds going in there, and it's that mixture of tricks. It's not all about who can go the highest and who can spin the most times. And I think that's so good about where skateboarding's at in competition standard at the moment.
That is a consequence of a well-designed skate park. When you force riders to do long grinds, you're gonna see more long grinds. So smaller face walls, more corners, more hips, a creative middle section. You're gonna really see these guys get deep into their bag of lip tricks. But the way these contests work, you're not just gonna take out your big kickflip 5. You need it. So you're forced to do both.
So we're about 5.5 minutes out from getting heat number 2 of our men's semi-final underway. Our commentary booth certainly isn't rattling around as much as it was earlier, so I'm saying that that wind has died down at least enough to get this thing going. I know they would be calling it if it was dangerous out there. World Skate are always looking out for the best of our riders.
These guys do not seem to mind, and I just stepped outside a few minutes ago, and it was cold, it was windy, it looked like it was going to rain, it felt like it was going to rain.
Well, we were saying that the other night, as soon as the sun goes down, it gets really cold here. And a couple of the heats were sort of delayed slightly. And we were having a discussion about how a few degrees can really affect your run.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that goes on your body, the first thing you lose control of is your feet. When you get cold or when you're tired, your calves and your ankles stop working with that same fine-tuned motor skill. So when you're looking at a warm 2 p.m. session with no wind versus a noticeable drop in temperature, more wind, and you're doing this start and stop thing, it can make it really hard just to do the simple things like feel your skateboard.
Well, it's so important being able to feel your skateboard, and you can't just put any old sock on, can you? You know, you've got to have a skate sock. Some people like a thicker sock. I want my board to be pretty much barefoot.
Well,
I want to feel everything, but others are like, no, I don't want to feel any of it.
You know, like I knew some guys who double sock. I think Clay Kreiner's a big double sock guy.
Okay, now the world knows that.
Which is interesting. And you know, like Nia Lasso has her Yoda socks,
yeah.
the good luck charm.
Yoda socks for the win.
I've been told that I need longer socks, actually. I like the ankle ones.
Who's dissing your ankle socks?
I don't know. I like them.
I'm really, really keen to see the comments on sock usage, or as I'd like to say, sockage.
You know, watching Luigi warm up, I love seeing him do those nice feel things like tail taps on the way in out of airs. With that being said, I want to see him to keep doing that in the contest.
Yeah.
I think when you're practicing very naturally and with a lot of fluid riding, you need to take that. You can't then go, okay, now I'm structured, let's do everything perfect.
Well, it shows full board control, doesn't it? If you can slap your tail on the way in, give that naughty coping a little spank. My good friend Greg Nowick used to slap his tail and he'd say, oh no, it's a way of working out that I'm not going to hang up, which made no sense at all. But hey, someone who's very skilled like him, I guess it does.
Yeah, it's easy to lie to yourself and say like, oh, more precision, more perfection, that's safer. But like Luigi, one of those guys, is going to be using the park really in that fluid way.
So just got the heads up from Greg saying that we will see Egoit's skating. It was nothing major. Maybe hurt his jaw slightly, but stoked that he's going to be skating. But what he needs to do now is get Snake in and get at least 3 runs in if he can. He's got a minute, just under 2 minutes to get it done. And I mean, going back to what you were saying about those feel-good tricks, I think that's really important in the warm-up. You know, maybe don't go and try and do all of these crazy tricks that you are going to put in your final run. Do stuff that makes you feel really good on your board and makes you feel like you are in control.
You know what I would do, and whenever I would compete, and speaking of, the voice is right back in there. Yeah. I would do the easiest version of my run in practice, and I would say out loud the trick that belongs there for the run. I would set up for it. I would hit all my notes. I'd see where I'm looking, hit all my breaths, and I'd go kickflip Indy, 540, and I would like say it. And I always felt like that did me better than falling on one of those tricks with 1 minute before I skate.
Yeah. So touching on someone who's not here, Guy Curry on home turf. Do you think that the deep end is big enough to spin a 9?
He spun a 9 actually in practice.
Oh, okay.
And I saw him get really. It was a contest make 9, which basically just means he fell on purpose.
Right.
What happened in the contest? I think he fell on his kickflip 5, and then changed. Instead of just trusting that was going to be enough, he changed his strategy, and then that run missed finals by 2 spots.
It's looking pretty warm there. Last 10 seconds before we get this thing going.
You show me a quarter pipe you can do a backside air on, I'll show you a quarter pipe geek in 900.
Yeah. Well, I've seen the Baku guys doing some pretty good backside airs on Jersey barriers.
Yeah.
So that's time right there. Just a little bit of adjustments on the course. Got a team in there making sure everything's nice and tight.
Those are actually all stickers from what I know. And I saw one fall off earlier, so I'm not sure what they're fixing, but I think the Red Bull sticker is needing a little adjustment.
Well, I think sometimes when the shred is this hard, stickers can't cope with it. They just got to go. I mean, that one's just given up the ghost. He's like, I'm out of here. I know what's just about to happen. So we'll be starting it off with Luis Mariano. Run 1 of 3. Best run will count, and we are only taking the top 8 through to finals tomorrow. Loving the way he starts that run. No one else is doing that.
I usually am not a fan of the weird drop-ins, but a legit grind ollie-in is awesome.
There's that big boneless.
Now, he wins the boneless competition of the event, and I think that's the only way the boneless is going to help you.
The nearest to Peter Hewitt that I've seen.
There's
so
a water
far.
bottle in the bowl.
Was that a thing? I think if it's a legit thing, he'll get a rerun.
I believe he should, because he carved around, and that trick is so line dependent. If he had to dodge that can, then he should get a rerun.
We will see. I'm sure he's going to speak to Greg, or Greg will go up to him and ask him. He's our technical delegate. See that bottle in the background there? And I mean, it can be the slightest thing that adjusts your line, and you're not going to get anywhere near to where you want to be.
I think he's doing something very smart right now by refusing to get out of the bowl.
Yeah.
No new riders are going to drop in if he's standing there, and he knows that. I think he's doing a good job at fighting for himself just by where he's standing.
And he's speaking to Nico, our course manager. Absolute snowboard legend.
I mean, he
Very
definitely
good skater
saw
as well.
it
Yeah,
before
I mean,
his trick.
We'll see if that score disappears, but it's a 26.25 and it is on there. So I guess it's been locked in.
And it's not that it's going to mess up that trick, but like, you know you're coming back into that section right after. So like that you cannot have a run with a can in the bowl.
I think the crowd are being very vocal. I wouldn't want to be the person getting on the wrong side of them.
No, not at all.
Well, I mean, that score seems to be staying there, 26.25.
You know, they have rules and protocols for all this stuff. I'm just here on the outside with my opinion.
On the outside looking in.
And as a rider, I would definitely be throwing a fit if I saw a can in the bowl.
So it sounds like they're still discussing the rerun. I think it would be the right thing right now.
So
You know, he has had no choice but to avoid it. It is something that's in the way, but looks like we're waiting for confirmation.
And it's bigger than that, though. Even if it didn't ruin that trick, if he has another trick in that corner later, all you're thinking about is, where is that can?
Yeah, where is it? Is it going to stop me in my tracks at 40 miles an hour?
You know, he's got an interesting skateboard setup, too. He's got an 8.25, which is smaller than average, probably for those flip tricks. But he's got big wheels with 58s.
58s, wow, that is big.
Big wheels on a small board is basically saying, I like to go fast, I like to flip my board.
I am completely the opposite. Big board, small wheels for me. But it's the wonder of skateboarding. You know, what works for someone is completely the opposite for someone else.
And he is working on that tray flip indie over the box jump.
So all eyes on Luis right now. He's doing the rounds.
Yep. He should just trust, he should just focus on the start of his next run. When they call his name, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes an extra 5 seconds, reset. This is where the contest starts.
I mean, it's worth saying that this has a knock-on effect to everyone else as well, doesn't it? You know, everybody stood cooling down. You'll see everyone just cruising around on the platform, just maybe dropping in and going through. There you see, yeah, that bottle right in there would have thrown him off. You see him looking back at it straight away. Probably see it a little bit better from this view. So,
not that the difficulty of the trick you fell on should actually determine whether it's a redo.
Oh,
but
no,
like,
the fact that it's
he's
there.
not falling on a back tail there in this situation.
So I guess the question is, would he, you know, was it an issue or not? Like, I guess I mean, the fact that it's in there, I would say it's an issue.
Yeah, make everyone skate with a can. All of a sudden, they'll all agree with you.
But also, that shows you the wind. It takes a lot of wind to blow a semi-full bottle.
He's redoing it.
There you go.
If this was a rider vote,
a
everyone would vote he gets to go again.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what's great about skateboarding. And it might be that he then beats you in the competition, but it's legit. And I think everybody's going to say, well, if it's going to be fair for him, it's going to be fair for me.
Yep, exactly. If that happened to me, you know, skateboarding is based on a lot of this stuff is based on like rider votes and what happens. And I don't know this situation specifically, but you never want to vote something that's going to hurt another rider because it all comes back.
Oh, don't get another can, please, no.
That's funny. You can't write that.
If he just sipped that and threw it in the bowl and went, I'm out. Right, okay. Luis Mariano, run number 1, reset. And we're going to start this whole thing again. If it's not delays from weather, it's delays from random cans trying to take a run while someone's always in the already in the bowl.
I've been waiting for Heat 2 for what feels like 12 hours now. All right, Luis Mariano dropping in.
Here we go. 45 seconds on the clock. Straight back in as we saw him start before. I wonder if everybody's going to scream for him as he goes over the pump bump.
Huge boneless on that bank wall. Honestly, that's one of my favorite parts of his run.
There's a nose bone on that boneless as well, which shows pure skill. Out to backside, tail side. There you go. He's got past where he was. Heel flip Indy. And do you know what?
The big part of the run right here is the tray flip. Kick flip Indy this time.
Playing it safe. Melon 5. Over the hip to back lip.
You see him drop his foot. Is he going to do another tech trick?
Do you know what? I think what he's doing right now is, let's just get this run out of the way and reset, because that is such a throw, isn't it?
Yep.
Like to redo a run, it's such a big deal, and I think he's played that really well. Tone it down a little bit, get a run under his belt, and then come in absolutely beasting on the next two.
Going earlier in the event, it changes the strategy compared to going later, because now he has an entire second heat to watch, and he can compare himself to the first heat by the time he goes again. So he'll have a lot of info when he drops in for his second run.
And that sweet spot you were saying about not much room for error there.
And Luis's control and his pump control is second to none, really.
We'll be waiting for that score to come in. 89 is the score to beat from Kalani Koenig. It's all laughs out on the platform, though. I mean, let's remember, this is fun. 79.88. That's quite far away from the top score.
Yeah, he would have liked to be a bit higher. There were two spots in his run that I think he wants to improve on. But, you know, he's not in a terrible situation, understanding that, you know, he has a lot of contests to watch before he goes again.
Okay, Dan Sabino in. Whoa, what happened there?
All right.
Really not sure what's going on. The timer is still going. He's just saying, starting again. I'm really not sure what happened there.
You have to wait for the starter.
Nico's asking him what happened there. Why did you stop?
He saw Luis get a redo, so he wanted one.
It's only fair. Okay, seems to be okay. He's going to get straight back in. 45 seconds on the clock. Dan Sabino. There we go. It looks like he's going to vary all that round every time he catches it. Body varial 5 as well. Boosting over into that extension. Dan is absolutely flying right now, and it's that trick right there that he's putting the cat amongst the pigeons.
He's taking a way different line than everyone else. Well, maybe the same path, but in a much different order, and it actually changes things up a lot.
Well, the thing is, it's not just about the trick itself, it's how you get there with the speed to do it.
He's going really fast. He's doing incredibly hard tricks. He's skating great right now. 50-50.
Oh, wow, that's such a weird one, that.
To feeble fakie.
You never see that, ever.
It looks like it looks like an accident.
Yeah, I thought it was going to fall. I was just about to say that's such a shame. All bought and paid for. Incredible run there from Dan. Do you know what now? So something like that 50-50 feeble fakie, you're in the judges booth. How are you putting something on that? How are you putting a score on that? Like, you know, what are you going to judge that against other grinds? Because it's something you don't usually see.
As long as it's done well, it's going to carry you far. I don't think touching a 50-50 before the feeble is going to make as much of a difference as, say, the feeble going all the way through the corner.
I mean, he ground it pretty far as well.
Exactly. That's the thing that they're really looking for.
Well,
and that cab heel off the deep end into the shallow is my favorite part of that run by far.
It's so good, the way he does it, the way he catches it. And there's no sort of sketchy landing. He brings it all the way around perfectly.
I hope they understand just how hard that is.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
There's a lot of reasons it's hard.
We've got Indiara Asp up there. Ivan Monteiro up there as well, Team Brazil.
I think I saw Raika. Yeah, I can hear
yeah,
Raika.
If you can't see her, you can definitely hear her.
Yeah,
one of the loudest people on the platform, 85.81. Where's he going to adjust? How can he improve that?
You know, I actually don't know where his obvious improvements could be.
Maybe it is changing up that 50 to feeble and trying to get another banger in the deep end.
Yeah,
but that line isn't going to allow you, I don't think.
He has the cab heel. That's his standout. Let's get into Gavin. We'll touch on that when we get back to Dan.
Oh, there's a big chicken wing. Huge Madonna. You hear that tail clacking on the way in.
And this is where Gavin is actually so strong in this bowl, because the size of the transitions, I think, fit his skating really well.
Big backside tail slide. And it's things like that, body varial backside disaster. You know, nobody else is doing that out there. Keeping the line going, no comply tail slide. The judges know how hard it is to not mess that trick up.
This is a much better run than he was coming off of quarters with.
Oh, beautiful frontside invert there. Oh, and there it is. The classic. That's got to get renamed the Gavo, surely.
I counted 13 tricks in 45 seconds on that run.
Wow.
I don't think anybody's fitting more than that.
There was one skater, and it was Vincent Matheron's brother, that did 16 the other day. But they weren't 16 bangers, I'll tell you that. That was back-to-back bangers. Look at this.
So the improvement that came from yesterday is the ollie backside body varial disaster. And what he can still improve on is that round the world 270. You can actually do that 450 and go all the way to fakie.
Yeah, that will be where the upgrade is.
Exactly.
And what's interesting now for Gavin is he's going to watch this score come in and he'll go, okay, if I do the 270 version of that, then he knows, you know, it's going to upgrade, but does he need to do more? So he's going to get a really good bit of feedback from the judges now.
I'm excited to see where they put him, because he's going more trick, 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 not focusing as much on getting that one super high or the really big gap. If you look at how Gavin used the middle section, he didn't fly from the side of it into the deep end like we saw maybe Thomas Augusto do. And Keegan Palmer, who's in second, who used that front 270 into that bank, everyone's using it so differently.
Yeah. 87, okay. So where do you predict that to go if he upgrades on the last trick?
Well, it's only 0.5. His execution was great on this last run, so we have to keep that in mind. He can add the 450, but he's got to keep the same execution as before to have a chance to mess with Keegan and Kalani.
Okay, Tom Shah dropping straight in. Tail grab 5 over that is absolutely bonkers. It's too small, surely.
Tom's the biggest guy that has great control on small transitions. So it looks great and it feels great.
His power is so impressive. And the way he can do things like that, ollie up to frontside tail slide, it's a long way up there.
A lot of people seem to buy time in the flat bottom between tricks, but it looks like Tom, when he's in the air, that's when he relaxes, that's when he resets. I think that comes from a long history of skating mega ramps while growing up. You just have a better sense of being in the air.
Wow, backside 180 tail grab to see it off. I mean, there was a lot going on in there. Really like the Indy 3 into the hip of the box jump. That is so sketchy, and I think the judges are going to just be like, yeah, he's throwing everything in.
And he just barely missed the grab on the 3. You saw his board bouncing around on his feet a little bit, but ultimately he landed with speed, so I think that's going to affect execution more than just bobbling it around.
Yeah, he just had hold of that on the fingernails.
But you look at guys who can control themselves in the air. Kiefer has that same skill. He also skates a ton of mega ramp.
And I think backside 180 tail grab over the box jump to end it. Do you think he can upgrade that, or maybe just get over the box a bit quicker and get that last hit in the deep end?
I think getting that hit in the deep end will be the biggest bang for your buck.
I'm really glad he's got a full pull on that first run as well, because you see it with Tom time and time again. He does get deflated pretty quick if something doesn't work out.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it very much, but that tail grab 5 over the love seat is actually going to carry this entire run. It's worth a ton of points from the judges' perspective for 2 reasons. You got to go wide and fast, and it also goes into a trick right away, but nobody else is going to be 5ing that wall, and there's a reason for that. The reason is because it's really hard.
Yeah,
you guys can't put it together.
Saying, I think it says for itself. So we're waiting for that scoring. Certainly got the judges scratching their heads up there. I mean, there was a lot going on. I'm sure they were just looking through their trick tally and just saying, wow, wait a minute, wait a minute. I mean, I would not be surprised if this is up into a 90. But I'd also not be surprised if it was late 80s. Oh, yep. 87.5. So just below Keegan there. And I think it's going to come down to that last trick upgrade, right?
Last trick upgrade, he can clean up the 360 in the middle of the run. You hate to see poor execution with 20 seconds left. It's just the way it is. Also, Tom has a lot of tricks. He can throw one more flip trick in there and get to the last wall.
So taking it to Spain's Iguaits Bejuesca. So much speed on the roll in there.
That's that big gap in the middle of the course that I was talking about, that Gavin didn't use.
Bit of a crouch on the 540. Didn't get much practice, but straight in with that backside tail slide shove it that we know him so well for.
So Iguaits has 1 run, right? A lot of these guys have a safe run and a harder run, but Iguaits' safe run is just his hard run, but he seems to squat it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's his version of making it safe, and I think if he were to just decide to stand up on his first run and go for it like that, he could actually add more later into contests.
Loving that revert there. Oh, wow, this is completely different than we're seeing from anyone else in a fakie 7 as well.
And look, he made the 7, he thought the run was over, and he saw the clock, he did a front set all, he didn't give up early. Iguaits is a competitor till the end.
Yeah. Until he hears that buzzer, he's going to keep going. There's no jumping out on the platform. And I really like that line. He did a revert over the pump bump, took it switch round the corner, switch 360 into the fakie 7.
And the fakie 7 was absolutely perfect.
So here's that backside tail slide shove it. He knows exactly where to do that trick to keep the control and land it in the pocket, doesn't he?
The first time I saw him do that in a contest, I lost my mind. I just rewatched our the contest from Ostia, and we were losing our heads when he did that.
Well, first fakie 7 wasn't that long ago. It was an NBD in this kind of competition, and he's gone and done it in his first run. Mitchie, I think he's made a statement there.
I believe Soya Inamata did the first 7 in the World Skate Park Final.
And then he backed him up.
Immediately, like next run.
Literally next run.
You know, we grow as groups.
Yeah.
And it's like that in skateboarding.
Okay, waiting for that score to come through. Any predictions, Mitchie? It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell because of how different everyone uses the park, but I would say Iguaits could really benefit from one wall where he just goes super high.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a reason to say, oh, let's compare it to this guy or that guy, he just doesn't have that one super boosty wall. But he has the opportunity, that big gap into the deep end. He can really stretch that 5 high if he wanted.
For sure. Well, he's definitely going to know what he's going to need to do after this score comes in. We're looking at that top 8 going through. Thomas Augusto from heat number 1 still in the mix. 85.48. He's got a nervous wait to see what happens.
We got 387s and a lot of skating to do, so the scoreboard's a little tight. It's going to be hard to fit people into spots if they need.
Yeah, Taylor Nye still in the mix as well, 86.16. But I do feel like this is going to be a big score coming through right now.
Definitely.
Team Spain came out to Brazil with 25 people. Wow, 25 people, including staff and skaters. I think there was over 10 skaters. You know, they are going for it. It's so good to see because look at the talent that's coming out of Spain.
Inigoitz on the men's side and Niall Lasso on the women's.
87.12, but I think you're right there. He's going to need that blaster in that mix.
He could swap places with Tom Shar, I think, with just adding height to his 540, and his line allows it.
Okay, Issei is injured and will be just cruising round to get that ranking and take those points. Playing it safe there. Really, really disappointed that he got hurt, but unfortunately that is the nature of skateboarding. Pretty much whole time you're either getting over an injury or just about to get a new one.
It's the way of the road.
You don't get good at skateboarding by not getting hurt, so
since your run starts when you get both feet on your board, I think you actually don't have to drop in.
No, you can just cruise around the platform there. You know, the field of play includes the platform.
Yeah. It was a full pull, technically.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't fall. He did earlier to be in the state that he's in now,
Yeah.
but he didn't on that run. So get well soon. As we take it over to Luigi Cini. You know what it's like to skate with this guy and skate against this guy. Where do you think his mind is, having seen what's already happened?
I actually think he's doing a great job focusing on his first trick.
That foot position was there for a while. Just missing the catch on there. I don't think he quite flicked it as he wanted to. And that trick usually just folds perfectly into his hand, doesn't it?
I'm just not going to say anything next time. The commentator's curse is it's really hard on these guys.
Well, and I think that wind might be something to do with it.
Yeah, and honestly, like, you can see what they're thinking. So, like, he was really, really, really eyeing it down. Remember what I said about Luigi in practice, how he was skating more flowy and less precise? I think a bit of that would be nice.
Okay, Kiefer Wilson. Straight back in. Tickling the tail there.
Excellent line. Going over the rail, into the Red Bull wall, and then doing a kickflip onto the bank. Man, it's insane.
Kickflip Indy disaster as well, mixing it up, getting several flip grabs in and getting on the coping as well. It really does tick those boxes, doesn't it, Mitchie?
Yeah, and Kiefer's really strong at doing these small adjustments with his feet on the board to set up for tricks, but without doing too much.
Well, those back-to-back tricks there, that was a quick fire round. Back on, nose grab 360. Very well timed, very well thought out, and don't be kind of lulled into a false sense of security that there wasn't much going on. It wasn't as dramatic as, say, Tom, but there was a lot of technical ability.
That's what I was just gonna say. Like, it's easy to watch that and do a golf clap, but nobody else is going over the Red Bull rail like that into that awkward section of the park. I think he actually uses the Red Bull wall and the bank probably better than everyone else.
Yeah. And I mean, still had the fives in there, but the flip grabs and used the rainbow rail, you know, I think that's going to really go in his faith. So 89.01 is what it needs for first place.
I would say that's a finals run. No matter what, we're looking at someone who's getting through.
I thought you were going to say that's a very finely manicured moustache there, which it is. So you can see he's saying there, I was going to do this, and so we know that there's maybe some adjustments going on the fly.
Yeah, I think he was coming in a little hot to the 540. I think that's what he's saying, is a little fast.
Obviously giving the judges a hard time. I mean, you don't qualify in that first place position through to semi-finals for no reason, do you? No. Still 2 more runs to go as well, Mitchie.
Yeah, Kiefer has as much talent as everyone else in the park in his pinky finger.
87.19, great score there for Kiefer. Sees him in 4th place.
We mentioned this earlier. That run got a ballistically large score earlier this week. I hope he doesn't stress out too much and he makes one good change to his next one.
So run number 2, Luis Mariano, currently in 12th place.
He has to do the tray flip.
He's got to do it. He knows that as well. Does that pressure play, though? You know, when you know you have to do it, Some people rise to it, some people crush from it.
Yep, this back tail and then going into the Red Bull wall will show us a lot of what he's thinking, right? What we're gonna see right here is dropping his front foot into position for this grind and doing the tray flip.
There it is.
He had
so close.
You know, when you make a good decision and you're close, you can't really be too disappointed. He said it was in the wrong spot. I don't know. Like we said, there's just such a small sweet spot coming over that launch rack that maybe overshot it, maybe his board flew backwards, I don't know.
Well, that rail is quite far over to one side, and the way that he wants to do it, he's got to go over it. And I guess if you're just anywhere near to hanging up on the rail, you know that is somewhere you don't want to be.
Yeah.
So 43.66 coming through, staying in that 12th place position. As we go back to Dan Sabino. Very impressed with Dan's first run. I have no idea where he's going to go with this.
I was just scratching my head. Same thing. Same varial flip, body varial 5.
That gets the board back round the right way. So much speed.
This is going to be a flip trick.
Oh, wow, okay. So that's where the upgrade was. We saw that kind of tweaked method air over the hip before. Crossboned. But I think, yeah, is that going to be enough? 85.81. Same run with that kickflip grab.
It's going to help a lot, and here's why. The transition size, the effective transition size is determined by how fast you're going into it. So if you're going really fast into a small transition, the judges know that that quarter pipe actually acts as like a really small and a really tight one, where you see just the height. Let's say he's going 4 feet high. You go 4 feet high in the deep end, whatever. You go 4 feet high off that quarter pipe, it's actually 2 times, 3 times as hard.
Yeah. Okay, going round to Gavin Butker. Run number 2 of 3. Blasting out onto that flat bank.
It's hard to see the difference in speed through camera, but out there, when you're watching, you can feel it.
Yeah. Sending that Indy nose bone. Line up the deep end, we're going to see the 5.
Also, that's floatier.
So slow. This is already looking better so far.
He's doing
I
a
think
great
that was
job.
a quicker landing then as well.
Yep, he's upping speed, upping execution.
Oh, so gutted on that.
That's hard to do, and that's one of those speed dependent tricks.
Well,
so
it's hard on a flat wall, let alone into a corner.
Yeah. Oh, you see when he stretched out that Madonna, his board hit his other knee. He was
so good.
Fully in.
So if you could whisper into Gavin's ear right now, what would you say?
Do it again. Do it again.
Okay,
Sometimes it's that
currently in
simple.
3rd place, Tom Shah with 87.25. Run 2 of 3. We're going to see the 5 tail. Yes, we are. Execution wasn't as good on that one. You
Yeah.
saw him shake his head a little
But
bit.
when Tom does it, it looks possible.
Yeah.
You're not even seeing one other person try anything like that.
The way he spanned that stale 360 there, he landed perfectly into the deep end. Ollieing up to frontside tail slide.
Yep.
Hit the ejector seat on the alley-oop tail grab. I think with Tom, when it doesn't go the way that he wants it to go, sometimes it gets in his head.
Yeah, I think so. I think if that was run 3, he might fight for that. He's really good at knowing where he is in the contest. He's not going to make an error that'll take him out too early. But if you look back at the Olympics when he was not in a good position and he was trying to win and he took off for a alley-oop 450 that went wrong, he still went for it. And he ended up eating concrete and it was a pretty bad slam, but it was the right decision.
Okay, Igueska up next. Really good run number 1, but he knows that he needs that upgrade.
It's not obvious what he has to do different.
That'll
Big
do it.
360.
Straight into the melon 5.
He just did a straight air there last time, right?
Yeah. Kick for Pindy. Oh, he did well to keep hold of that. He held that so well, and that was so well executed, I can't tell you. He knew that he wasn't ready, and he held onto it and then did the shove it out.
Just that 1 millisecond makes a big difference, and he's standing everything up. That's a decision.
Up to front side lip slide, standing up on that front 50-50 transfer. There's that revert.
Yep.
Struggling to get
Feet
the
are
speed.
bobbling.
He's there. Is it going to be enough? Wow, somehow he span a fakie 7 with that speed.
And he didn't drag his hand or anything. He got close, but he didn't. So
I think the only thing in that execution is going to be down.
Yeah.
The kickflip indie into the landing of the box jump. It was so far away from him, but it's still a full pull and a clean run.
And the 270 into the deep end is a lot better than a straight air. There is going to be the equalizing factor of worse execution, general, but I actually think it's possible that it's enough to catch up with the next spot here.
There's that Weddle 5. Yeah, just hanging up a little bit on the knuckle of the box
Just
jump.
wanted to loop him out backwards, and he didn't touch the ground.
No. I mean, that's a close wall as well after the box jump, isn't it? So, yeah, to be able to hold on to it, fair play to that.
I would not be surprised if him and Kiefer switch spots at all.
Well,
and Tom's right there, too.
Anyway.
All the 4-3-2 are so tightly packed. This is going to be a really big decision the judges make.
I mean, even Gavin's in there as well. 6-2, all 87s and change. This they're losing out of room. There's not much room for them to go. He's going to start going. You know, if it goes above Kiefer, I think it might only be by 0.1.
Yeah, they were just running out of space.
I mean, if we look back at that run compared to Tom's first run, where does that sit?
Tom's first run, they're such different styles, but Tom has that element of height.
Wow. Second place, 88.01. You saw they just give him that little extra, leaving a bit of room in the scoring there.
That makes perfect sense. That the 270 instead of a straight air is so hard. It's worth for just less than a point.
100%. Okay, Luigi Cini hasn't made a run yet. It's run 2 of 3. There we go. That's what we know him for.
Yeah.
Perfect execution on
Dropping the shoulders, hanging his head, being a lot more relaxed.
There's the indie into the deep end. So high there.
So he checked that box. He has the height. Now, all this use of park and tech tricks are really going to make a difference.
There's a 1-foot tail grab. Taking it out onto the bank. Loving that. Okay, mixing it up on the coping there. Needs to get this done. Yeah, coming down to that last 5 seconds. That's such a gnarly one to finish things off. Whoa.
Okay.
Do you think he got a little bit lost there?
No, I don't think he got lost at all. I think he caught the kickflip stalefish in the flat bottom a little safely.
Okay.
And then had enough time for that last trick. I think if you land on the kickflip stalefish fakie and immediately hit your pump, I think it looks and feels a bit different at the end. But I don't think that was terrible by any means. He took out a trick. That's the big elephant in the room. He took out one trick in this run that everybody knows he wants to do.
And that's on purpose, right?
Yeah, I think that was a poor start to his first run. He doesn't want to go home without a real chance. But I think he's going to have to do it.
That's where we saw it end. Half cab 5-0 fakie.
But we look at his height and technical tricks. It's all there.
Yeah, I mean, he has got exactly the skill set that can win this thing. So he's going to be very interested, as is the rest of the world, to see what score comes in. Currently on a 2.33. That is getting kicked straight into the clouds.
Yeah, he's going to be... there's so many 87s.
Yeah, I mean,
so
85.48. Or sorry, 8-1, sorry. We'll see Dan Sabino sit down into 9th place. Top 8 going through to the finals. That's all it's needed. And at this point, I feel like there's a bit of a battle, maybe not to come out on top at the moment, it's just to make the cut.
Yep, get in there. Luigi Cini has so many tricks that he gets an 89.97.
Wow. So just 0.79 ahead of Kalani, and now sat in that first place position as we take it to our first place qualifier through to semi-finals. Kiefer Wilson, very interested to see if he's just seen what happened there and said, right, I'm going full finals run.
Definitely. I think Kiefer needs some reps at his finals run too. Not that he's gonna miss finals right now, but I think he needs reps going for it all.
Tail grab 5. Speeding back up onto the bank. There's the alley-oop. Oh no, missing the kickflip indie. Disaster. Not sure if he was supposed to just do the kickflip indie at that point. Maybe the alley-oop didn't work out very well for him. Or maybe that wind has come into play as well.
I've been talking to the riders in the athlete lounge, trying to get these little details about the skate park all week. And that Red Bull wall is really dependent on precisely where you hit it. If you hit it to the left or the right of that sun logo in the Red Bull sticker, there's a bump on both sides, and it can mess you up.
Great bit of info there. So it's going to come down to that third and final run. Sitting in 6th place, 42.61, relying on that 87.19 from run number 1 as we take it back to the top of the heat. Third and final runs, last chance for some. Some people already know they're in, and they're going to be very happy about that, but Luis Mariano back in, currently in 13th place. He needs to get this run as a full pull, and he needs to step it up quite a bit.
All eyes on tray flip.
It's got to happen, surely. Back Smith keeping the speed going, hanging in the air on the kickflip indie.
Really floaty, really nice. Ow, that's going to be a big slam.
Missing the backside tail slide. Well, we do have fantastic medical staff who are going to jump in there and look after him. You see some of the other riders jumping in there as well. We've got our medical team in there checking him out. Let's have a look at these replays. Tweaking that air, just slapping the tail on the way in there as well, I think.
Missed that.
Big bonus. Not quite as good as the one before. We saw a bit of a nose bone before, didn't we? 33.52. We'll just be checking in and making sure Luis is okay. Dan Sabino will be up next, but we'll just wait. Everybody needs to be properly looked after. Just a bit of a limp over there. Got the medical team taking him out. Got the crowd going wild for him out there. So looking at the flags, Mitchie, still pretty windy out there, right?
It's pumping. It's really hard to read which direction the wind is going just from looking up at the flags because it swirls so much in the bowl.
Okay, Dan Sabino, it's really hard to drop in when someone's taking a whopper of a slam, but Dan is on top form today, right?
You know, as a rider, they're gonna yell at you, but you can take as much time as you need to drop in and reset.
Especially after that.
Especially, yeah. It's your career. This is your decision. You drop in when you're ready.
So just outside of that top 8, Taylor Nye is going to be biting his nails right now, and Dan Sabino could be ruining his day.
I watched the entire quarterfinal with Taylor Nye after he skated, and he was on the bubble for so long.
So he's used to this feeling right now.
He's been feeling like this all week.
There's the varial flip indie to start things off. Body varial 5.
Same start as before. This is the big upgrade.
It's there.
He caught it perfectly. He's skating very well.
I'm so surprised
Oh my
that he actually went for that then.
It's
That
great
is
decision
throwing
making.
caution to the wind. It didn't look like he had enough speed. Seemed to have gone a little bit awry, but he's bringing it back into the big frontside nose grind. This is so exciting right now. Needs to stay on. No, he slipped off the back of it. I think I just heard Taylor let out a massive sigh from here.
Wow. I mean, as far as maturity on your skateboard, decision making in big events, props to Dan Sabino. He understands exactly where he is, exactly what he needs to do. It's easy to let off after you make a really hard trick, and he didn't.
No, he went all in.
He looks like, if you gave him another chance, he looks ready to go.
There were no chips left at the table after that run. Big frontside air back into the deep end. I think that's where it started going wrong for him, didn't it? I think the confidence went down slightly because he landed so far forward.
It's so hard to recalibrate after something goes a little funny.
I mean, if you're going to land leaning forward, it's definitely ollie into a deep end like that.
Yep. I see a lot of great things from Dan Sabino. He showed a lot that you can work with for a long time.
I hope we see him out in Rome in June for sure. I want to see more from Dan. Okay, Gavin Bottger up next, currently in 7th place, 87 on the board. I think he was just a little bit freaked out there, making sure everyone's off the platform. Yeah, the timer didn't start anyway, so it's all good. So he's waiting for the good to go from Nico. I don't think Nico was ready. It's an awkward one because you get all amped up to drop in and then you're like, nope, back to the beginning.
I love trying to listen in.
Oh, no way. I think they're saying because he put both feet on the board, he committed to the run and stopped.
Hey, they're going to boo the shit out of you guys, man. They're going to boo the hell out of you.
Excuse the language there, but passions are high out there. Just waiting for confirmation of that. Gavin Bottger ran, jumped on his board, 2 feet on. I didn't see the timer start, but he then stopped and went back to the top of the platform and said, can I start? Here it is, and he stopped there. Not sure what's gone on there, why he stopped, whether Nico was in the way or whether he just wasn't feeling it.
It is your job as a rider to clear your path and
Yeah.
start your drop, and it's your system that you have. I mean, essentially that's being looked at like you put your tail up, you started to go, and then you dropped in and we're like, oh wait, no, let me do it again.
So Laro getting involved there. Yeah, he's getting a rerun. Everybody's happy, and he's saying sorry. I mean, mistakes happen. There has to be a little bit of room for a little mistake
I'd say
here and there.
systematically, I'd love a buzzer to start and a buzzer to stop.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, Gavin Bottger in, run 3 of 3.
That's
was
higher.
Full send, way up there. Look at that Madonna.
Very hard to see and feel through the camera. On the deck, it's a big difference.
Indy nosebone over into the extension. Gavin certainly taking advantage of that little break on the platform.
Years and years of experience. Let Gavin go higher when it matters most.
Oh, missing the varial flip, Indy. Well, frontside air.
Okay, my question is, who is up that can knock Taylor out and Gavin?
Good question, good question. I don't think there's many left.
Tom's already in.
Tom's in. I mean, Gavin's in just in the 7th place.
Goitz is in. Isai is not.
out.
Did Taylor make it? His final set?
I think maybe he has.
Luigi Cini?
Wow. I just heard Taylor's in.
Taylor Nye made finals. But pre-show called him as the bubble finals maker with his best run. And the rest were gonna be Heat 2.
Wow. What a turnout.
With
He's going to be
Isai
so stoked, but
not
we're back up to
going.
Tom Sharp. Tail grab 5, that looked really clean. big backside ollies, floating, bit of a low lander.
It's fine with Tom because he's actually going so high that landing low is sometimes better. If you land too close to coping after a really high air on a small transition, it can loop you off the back.
Taking that line off the hip up to frontside, tailslide. That's so hard.
He's going to alley-oop that in finals.
Oh, kickflip Indy came up too high. Nearly caught it on his chest. But we will see Tom Shah in tomorrow's final. 87.25 will be the score he's going with. And that shows you just how important that first run score is, right?
Yeah, I would love to have seen Tom make that just to kind of see where he stacks up with everybody. And, man, he is clutch. Letting Tom go late in the comp would be an advantage tomorrow. So I'm a bit sad he's end up in 5th because he's going to go earlier.
But sometimes it just doesn't matter with Tom, does it? Wherever he is, he's almost having a competition with himself, like a battle to get what he wants done, not what the judges want from him.
You know, you always want to see them skate as hard as they can. But Tom's smart. He's not going to risk his body right now and take a slam after he's already in finals.
Okay, Egoitz Buquesca back in. Just missing that 360 over off the hip into the box jump landing.
And I don't know if Egoitz is thinking the same of... I don't think he threw that away to not take a risk. I think it just went wrong.
Yeah.
I think Egoitz will stand on everything that's even close to reasonable.
If it's mildly able, he's going to put his feet down.
Last year in Ostia, he had a golden run and a victory run. He upped his score by 2 points on his victory run.
Yeah, I mean that...
It takes a special kind of person.
Well, that's the level he's at. And speaking of high-level skateboarding, Luigi Cini is up for his 3rd and final run. In 1st place already. Rolling into the frontside grind, into the corner. Big tweak stalefish round the corner.
See this rhythm and flow that he's got back? I want to see this from his first run.
But what we've seen time and time before is Luigi does this in his... Oh, that's disappointing. He does this in his semi-finals, and then sometimes when it comes down to finals, he can't find that rhythm again.
No, I just want him to relax, have fun, skate loose, be comfortable with a bit of space from your board. Don't try to hold on so tight.
Can you pop out and have a chat with him, please, after this, and just tell him that?
Maybe I'll invite him to the Brazilian barbecue later tonight.
Okay, Kiefer Wilson, last rider to drop in, 3rd and final run. Currently in 6th place. He'd like to be a little bit higher up the pack to skate a little bit later.
You definitely want to go after Tom in finals.
Yeah.
Like, you want to at least get into 5th right now.
Use Tom as the ampage you want as well.
You talk about like bang for your buck for strategy. One place up here is actually a really big deal because of who follows you.
So making it this time, kickflip, Indy backside disaster, ollieing out to the front side, Smith grind. It's looking good so far. Hanging in there. Oh, it looked like his front foot was coming off then. Lean melon disaster, 5 seconds left on the clock. 360, playing it very safe on that last trick.
That kickflip Indy disaster is going to make a big difference. That's really hard to do, especially on that Red Bull wall.
Well, if you don't come off that bank with enough speed, you're just not going to get it.
You don't have time to adjust your foot position or adjust your speed coming out of that bank. So that means everything leading up to it, the entire process has to be perfect.
That's such a good backside 540 tail grab.
It's supposed to be a Smith, I think.
Yeah, it looked like his body was a little bit awkward. I thought his foot was going to come off just on the way in. But another full pull for Kiefer Wilson.
He did take out a frontside blunt, and he did a lean disaster. So, but the kickflip Indy disaster is going to be so much better.
Where do you see room for improvement for tomorrow, Mitchie?
Kiefer has another level of power and kickflip 540s.
Yeah.
So if he really juices it, he can go like 3 or 4 feet higher. I mean, it's unreal. And a kickflip 5. I want to see both of those things.
I mean, it's very hard to think that people are holding back at this level of skateboarding, but they really are. So, okay, our standings right now, Luigi Cini way out there on the 89.79, Kalani Koenig 89, and Igoitz Pujuesca the 88.01. We've got 2 Brazilians going through to our finals. Big shout out to Dan Sabino, pretty much deserved to be in there, but Taylor Nye making his first ever finals at a World Skate event.
Out of those two, Dan Sabino and Taylor Nye, I couldn't have picked a better bubble situation as a commentator, and to watch these riders grow as skaters. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of them in the events coming up.
Okay, we're going to jump down course side with the 3rd member of our team, Alex White, who's with Tom Shah.
Hey, Mark. Hey, Mitchie. Just like you said, I'm here with Tom Shar. Tom, you won out here in 2018 Vans Park Series. Is that right?
Yeah, long time ago. It was a different contest. We were wearing no pads and everything, so it's kind of like skating a new park, trying to wear like pads and figure out new lines in here.
What's special about this park to you in this place?
I mean, I don't know if you could hear in the background, but they're going insane. Anytime anyone lands anything, it's like a zoo. It's crazy.
And you told me just a second ago you're going to maybe focus on serious comps again too. What's the thought process going?
I haven't done like a world skate thing in a while, so it's kind of good. I don't know, trying to get my legs back and get back in that like super serious mindset, I guess. But it's it's fun. I mean, I just come and hang out with my friends mostly. There's like 93 of us or something, so it's like a big family reunion every time.
Well, I like that mix of serious but really having fun with your family. Tom, good luck in the finals. Thank you so much. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you very much. Great to hear from Tom there. He's always positive, and I can't wait to see what we have tomorrow. We're going to take a short break now. Still to come, we have our women's park semi-finals. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you very shortly.
Isso aí, galera, teremos 2 brasileiros na final do parque.